first impression is, number one, I like the looks of it. I think it's a good looking helmet. It's very stylish.
This video is sponsored by Cruiseman's Garage Honda Goldwing Maintenance Video Series.
Today on Cruiseman's Garage, we're going to take a look at the brand new Outrush 2 Smart Helmet from Sena Technologies. I'd like to point out that Sena's not paying me to make the video, but they did send me this helmet to test and review. Like all Sena products, this one is packaged nicely. It's firmly held in place with pieces of cardboard. They include a nice helmet bag that you can use when storing the helmet. So upon first glance, just holding the helmet, it feels very well made. It's pretty lightweight. I'll put the weight on the screen. It has a flip-up visor, obviously. It also has a flip-up chin bar. This is a modular helmet, and there are a couple of little tabs you have to pull out before you can lower the sunshade, and it does have a retractable sunshade. It also has a very nice buckle, a quick-release buckle. I really like that. I wish the Phantom helmet had that. And inside the helmet are a couple of wind muffs for the microphone, as well as a USB charging cable and a quick start guide. As far as appearance, I think the helmet looks very nice. I think it's very modern, very stylish. You can see the sizes here. They go from small all the way up to XXL. It has a very nice look, very nice profile. There is a massive air vent in the chin bar and another large vent on the top of the helmet, and then you can see the exhaust ventilation out of the back of the helmet. The Sena mesh communicator controls are located on the outer left side of the helmet. This is a little different than the other helmets I've reviewed from Sena, which have more of an integrated look. This one's like it's stuck to the outside of the helmet. The USB-C charging port is on the back of the communicator control unit, and it's covered with a rubber flap to keep moisture out. So let's plug in this communicator, let it get fully charged, and while it's charging, I'm going to tell you about the specs of this helmet. The Outrush 2 helmet has DOT and ECE certifications. It has an ABS polycarbonate shell, and it's Pin Lock 70 ready. Sound is delivered through the second generation HD speakers. The unit has Bluetooth 5.2 and Mesh 3.0. With Open Mesh, you can have up to 6 riders connected simultaneously, but it also supports Group Mesh with up to 24 riders. Using Sena's new Wave intercom system, you can have an unlimited number of riders connected simultaneously. The Outrush 2 has Sena's advanced noise control. Sena claims 20 hours of talk time and a 2.5-hour charge time. Intelligent power management puts the communicator into sleep mode when it detects no activity for a period of time to help preserve battery life. The Outrush 2 comes with a 2-year factory warranty. It's important to note that the design of the helmet does allow for the break-free helmet light to easily be installed on the back of the helmet. It has a perfect mounting location. Those of you that follow my channel know I never ride without a break-free helmet light attached to my helmet. The contour of the break-free does fit the back of the helmet nicely, but it will require the use of the taller break-free mount to stand out from the helmet a little bit because the edges of the break-free will rub the helmet. So I'll be using the larger of the break-free mounts. After cleaning the helmet surface with alcohol, I'm ready to install the break-free, and I'm just going to center it over the DOT sticker. Actually, I'm just using the power button, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. I want to make sure I get it centered right over that DOT sticker, and it goes right on. Now I'm going to press firmly, hold it in place for about 30 seconds. I'm not going to do it all on camera. And the break-free is installed. And by the way, you can save $10 with promo code Cruiseman. Use the link in the description of the video. If you need a break-free helmet light, I highly recommend it for safety. They're absolutely amazing. Okay, I've got the helmet fully charged up now. I'm going to try it on for the first time just to see how it feels. It fits snug for the large, but very comparable to the way the Impulse or the Phantom fits. The buckle is very easy to close. The chin bar is a little stiff. Of course, it's a brand new helmet. Takes a little bit of effort to get that down. You can take a look at the around the helmet to see how you think it looks. I like the style of the helmet, even with the break-free added. I think it looks very modern, very stylish. That part I love. I think the helmet is a good-looking helmet. I like the placement of the sunshade release. It's nicely placed on the left side of the helmet. And the only thing that takes some getting used to is that tab for the face shield is in the center of the face shield at the bottom instead of on the left side. Chin vents are very easy to open and close, and the release for the chin bar is also very easily accessible. The first time you turn on the headset, it's going to go into pairing mode automatically, and you turn it on by pressing the plus button and the center button for about 1 second.
Hello. Battery level is high. Phone pairing. Press any button to cancel.
Now, most riders will probably pair this headset to their smartphone so they can listen to music, make and receive phone calls. You can tell it's in pairing mode because you're getting the alternate blue-red flashing light. I'm not going to pair it to my smartphone. I'm actually going to pair this to my Honda Goldwing audio system via Bluetooth for a rider headset, and I'll show you how I do that now. So first I'm going to turn the Goldwing on, and I'm going to go to the main menu, and I'm going to go to Audio Settings. Next, we're going to scroll down to Bluetooth Setting, and then to Rider Headset Pairing. You can see it's turned on. If I click on it, it not only lets us pair to another system, but it shows me all of the helmets or communicators that I'm currently paired to. Remember, our Outrush 2 helmet is already in pairing mode, so when I click on Inquiry, the Honda Goldwing will go out and search for any device that's in pairing mode. Now it's searching for the headset, and this is where the Goldwing is a little squirrely. You have to kind of look at that scroll bar on the right and see when it gets shorter. When you see that scroll bar move, that means you can go ahead and abort and then scroll down to try to find your device. There's the Outrush 2. We'll hit the enter button, and it did successfully pair. Now, if I listen to the speakers inside the helmet, I can hear my AM radio.
Well, good morning, everybody. Cruiseman here, and I am heading out to do a couple of things. Number one, I've got to run to the hardware store up to Lowe's, pick up some screws. Number two, I'm testing out this brand new Outrush 2 helmet from Sena right here. They sent this over to me to test and review, so that's what we're going to do. Now today I'm using a Bluetooth microphone. I'm using the DJI Mic Mini. You might have seen it. I was able to clip it right here to my microphone stem. So we're going to see how that works as far as sound. And as we head over to Lowe's, I'll tell you what I think of this new helmet. The first impression is, number one, I like the looks of it. I think it's a good looking helmet. It's very stylish. And the Outrush, I think, is kind of their mid-level helmet, modular helmet. And I think it retails for about $3.99 maybe. I'll double check and I'll put it on the screen for you. Beautiful day here in Carrollton, Texas. Right now it's about 79 degrees, just perfect weather. It's really been a beautiful last couple of weeks. Almost no wind. We got a new fence installed, and they should be coming out in the next few days to stain the fence. Maybe next week, I'm not sure. Let me tell you what I think of this Outrush 2. Just first impression. Obviously not a long-term review. Number one, it fits just about like my other Sena helmets. I have the large. That's what I have in all their helmets, and fits very good, very snug. I do like the way they did the little sunshade here on the side. I certainly prefer it to where HJC puts it up on top, and I think I prefer it better than the impulse helmet, which has it down here. Now, one thing that is different is the controls are not integrated into the design of the helmet. It has this external communicator that kind of sticks out from the side of the helmet, but is very low profile. It works virtually identical as far as how you operate it. It does have the Sena Mesh 3.0. It also has over-the-air updates, so you don't have to have any kind of dongle connected to a computer or anything like that. You can do it through your Wi-Fi, through your home Wi-Fi, which I like. The sunshade I'm using right now is good. I think it's very similar, if not identical, to the one on the Phantom that I recently tested. It's probably could be a little darker, but it's still good. The operation is smooth. It is sort of graduated. It doesn't have stepped detents. Just at the very end it locks in place, which is probably a better design. Now, as far as the face shield, one thing that takes a little getting used to is the little tab to lift it up or pull it down is in the very middle. I'm used to having one on the left, and sometimes you get one on the right for those of you that are left-handed. But this one's right in the center, so that's going to take just a little bit of getting used to. Right now the helmet is, or the face shield is completely closed. Visibility, I would say, is very good. You don't have that little seam like you have on the Phantom. This one is completely clear all the way across and has a good broad range of visibility. Now this one does have detents. It has one at the top, then there's so that's one, two, three, and then fully closed. But you can kind of pop it open just enough to crack it to get a little bit of airflow, like in the wintertime if you're trying to defrost. So that's nice. It seems to work pretty well. One thing I do like about this helmet, and I don't know why they didn't do this on the Phantom, and that is this one has the quick release buckle. And it's a very nice quick release buckle, just like the Impulse has. And for some reason they didn't put that on the Phantom. I'm not sure if they have a different helmet manufacturer. I don't know what the reason is. Now later on I'll get this out on the highway and check out the noise levels at highway speeds. Just right now I'm just doing in-town driving. I'm going about 40 miles an hour. And it seems reasonably quiet. But until you get on the highway with more wind, it's really hard to tell. I do have my windshield all the way down right now because I did want to see how it handles the wind. Let me close the face shield. You do get a little wind noise, which is pretty common with modular helmets. I did test the Outrush R not too long ago, and I think this helmet is a little bit of an upgrade from the Outrush R. This one has just a little bit more of a quality feel to it. I don't know how to describe it, but the look and the feel and the way the interior, everything about this helmet is very similar to my Impulse helmet. And the Impulse helmet is, I would say, a little bit higher end, step up from the Outrush. I'm getting just a little bit of wind noise in the helmet. You probably can't pick it up on the microphone. Okay, well, I'm at Lowe's, and let's see how easy it is to get this helmet off. I did test this in the garage, and it seemed like it was very, very easy to take off. It got a very, very firm. When you open it and close it, it's got a very solid feel. Like it's not going anywhere. It's locked in place. That's good. Yeah, the buckle is super easy to get off. Just pops off. I think I might have had it open. Okay, I have turned on my, let me mute this. I have turned on my Bluetooth on my helmet and it connected immediately. So I don't know if that's a fluke, because sometimes it does work on the Goldwing, but most of the time I have to turn my headset off and back on a couple of times to get it to connect. But it connected the first time. So let's hope that maybe they've made some improvement on the Sena headset. I know that my Sena Phantom connects much more reliably than my older Impulse helmet. And I know that on the 2025 Goldwings, they seem to connect more reliably. But I'm on my 2024 Goldwing, and I have to say it connected the first time. So I've got my radio on. Let me hit the volume. Also, my Apple CarPlay came up. And plenty of volume. I would say the volume levels are as good as the Phantom and the 60S. In my older Sena headsets, my normal listening volume, I would have the helmet, or I would have the volume on the motorcycle set to 8 or 9. And I can comfortably listen to everything with this and or the Phantom at 5 or 6. So it's definitely putting out more volume than what it was in the older, I would say even on the Impulse, but the 60S and the Phantom and this helmet seem to have more output than the older headsets had. So that is one improvement you'll notice if you're upgrading from, say, a 50S or a 30. If you can get this helmet for $399, that's a super value, because you're not only getting the Bluetooth mesh headset, you're getting Bluetooth connectivity to your phone, or in this case, my motorcycle. I'm going to, first of all, I got my face shield open. I got the windshield all the way down in the lowest position just to test the wind noise on this helmet. I'm going about 55 miles an hour right now, and I'd say the noise levels are pretty comparable to the Phantom. Normally I would ride with the windshield up here. I'm not sure if you can even hear the wind noise, because this microphone and this camera might actually be compensating for some of that background noise. Just kick it on up to about 70 miles an hour and see what we get. You know, I'm going to step out on a limb here, and I'm going to say I think it might be a little quieter than the Phantom. But I may be wrong. It does have a chin protector underneath, a little fabric screen that probably is helping with the wind. Let me raise the windshield and we'll see what. Yeah, that makes quite a bit of difference when you raise up the windshield. But you know, a lot of you ride bikes that you don't have a tall windshield. You don't have that option, so that's something to consider. But I mean, it's been a couple of weeks since I've ridden with the Phantom, but I would say the wind noise is comparable. For a mid-range helmet like this, I think that's pretty acceptable. And if you do ride a motorcycle with a decent windscreen like a Honda Goldwing or other touring bike, when you put your windshield up, the noise levels aren't really too bad.
and the sound quality coming through the speakers is good that I'm getting on the radio. So let's go back to the studio and my garage, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts on my first impressions of this Outrush 2 helmet from Sena.
Okay, so let me give you some final thoughts on this Sena Outrush 2 helmet. Let me tell you what I like and what I don't like, and do I think this is a good buy? Well, first of all, you got to remember this is what I would call a mid-range helmet. It retails for $399, and personally I think that is a bargain. You're getting a Sena mesh communicator built in. It's very easy to operate. I like the fact that it has a USB-C charging port on the back. Very easy to plug in and charge. It's got buttons that are very easy to access even with gloves on. It's a very solid feeling helmet. It doesn't feel quite as quality level as the Phantom helmet, but it's pretty close. And I find the fit and the finish of the helmet to really be excellent. I mean, it's great. It's very solid. When you open the chin bar, it snaps open solid. It's got pin lock capability. It does not come with a pin lock shield. I wish it did, but it also has metal attachments here, not plastic. It's a very nice release, very easy to use, and they've colored it red so it's easy to find. So if, for example, emergency services, say you did have an accident, you were unconscious, they could very easily find the release for the helmet. Some things I don't particularly like about the helmet. There's other things I like I'll go through in a second. It seems to fit the microphone, between the microphone and the chin bar seems to be a little cramped compared to my Impulse helmet. But I think I could get used to that. The other thing that takes some getting used to is having the little tab for this face shield in the center as opposed to on the left side. I'm just used to reaching up with my left thumb and raising it. And I'm sure they did that for people that are left or right-handed. The vents are nice, easy to open and close with gloves on. Those I don't have an issue with. Same with the top vent, very high quality. The sun shield, once again, kind of like with the Phantom, I wish the sun shield was just a shade darker to provide a little bit more sun protection, but again, I could live with it. I think it's a great everyday helmet. It's got a lot of features. It's just seems like a very well-built helmet. The interior materials are good quality. They're very comfortable. I found the fit of this helmet to be excellent for me. I wear a large. This is a large. I'd say it fits almost identical to the Impulse helmet that I have. And I think as far as noise, I'd say the wind noise is comparable to the Impulse helmet. I don't really have a scientific way of measuring that wind noise. I just kind of go by my gut feeling. And I feel like it's about the same as the Impulse. Now, the Impulse is a 2 or 3 year old design. So perhaps they've brought some of those, they've upgraded their mid-range helmets to Impulse. I would consider more of a higher end helmet. So this, I think, at $399 is a real bargain. The other thing I love about this helmet is the buckle release. The quick release buckle, I should say. That is a great feature. I wish the Phantom had that. The Phantom is their full face helmet. It's not modular. And I'm not sure why it didn't have the buckle release, but I love this quick release buckle. This is a helmet I would be comfortable using as my everyday helmet. It's got all the latest Sena tech. The sound quality was excellent. I did test the mesh with my other Impulse and with the Phantom, and it connects every time reliably. No problem there. It also does not have an external antenna that has to be deployed. So I find that interesting, and have not done long-term testing on that to know if that would make a difference or not. Also, you can very easily mount the brake-free. The design of the rear of the helmet is such that the brake-free fits. You do have to use the taller mount of the brake-free to get kind of past this little ridge here, but it fits. It looks good, I think. You give up a few things from the Impulse with this helmet, but not much. It's got a lot of features, and I think it's a good-looking helmet. It only comes in a couple of colors. I think it comes in the flat black and the gloss white, and I like the gloss white because to me, it's a little more visible when you're riding than a black helmet. I think it helps you stand out a little more. So overall, I'm a fan. Just FYI, I am also a Sena affiliate. So if you choose to take a look at this Outrush 2 helmet and you decide to purchase it, you could do so through my affiliate link, and you may get a discount. I know since it's a new product, I'm not sure if they're offering that affiliate discount right now, but you could still go use my affiliate link. I'll put a link down in the description of this video where you can go right to the Sena website and check out the Outrush 2. One other thing I will note about this helmet that is notable, and that is on the Honda Goldwing audio system, once I paired it to the motorcycle, it connected every time. It has not failed to connect. I've ridden with this helmet, I think 5 different times. And if I turn the headset on first and then start the bike, the Bluetooth connects every time reliably. I don't have to reboot the Communicator to get it to connect. It has connected every time. And I don't know, I think the Phantom may have done that also, but my Impulse helmet, I always have to turn it off, turn it back on, sometimes twice to get it to connect with Bluetooth. I don't know why. It's a mystery. I also know that things seem to connect better to the 2025 Honda Goldwing, but the 24 and earlier 2018 to 2024s, you always have to reboot the headsets to get them to connect, but not with this one. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the Sena Outrush 2 helmet. If you have any questions, put them in the comments down below. And thank you, Sena, for sending this over for me to test and review. Until I see you next time, remember to ride often, but ride safe.